Welcome back, friends and family of the internet. Welcome back, fellow watchers on the wall. So, we are going to deep dive Mr. Beast today. We're going to talk about his connections to the CIA and something called Black Rock, which is an Israeli IDF company, basically. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to show you all the evidence of who this person is. Now, for a lot of us, we know that Mr. Beast's main group that watch him, 40% are younger than 18, and a significant amount of that 40% are under 13. Now, why does that even matter that a man named Jimmy Donaldson would have such control over America's children and the world's children? Yeah, I'm going to show you some things that you probably have never heard, or if you've heard them, you've never heard them the way I'm going to show them to you. But before I do, I need to clarify for Christians on this channel. I too had been inappropriately taught the word of God. There's no shame in admitting that we didn't know something. Friends and family, you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Life is a journey. Learning is a journey. And as new information comes out, a sign of intelligence and adulting means that you reconceptualize how you perceive things. There is a verse in the Bible that has been hung over the Christians' heads in the West for so long, our grandparents, our parents, and now us, and on to our children, that we legitimately say it, but we can't defend it. And it is Genesis 12:3. Bless Israel, and you will be blessed. I will bless them that bless thee. I recently learned that Christians are the seed of Abraham. The Bible asks us, it tells us to look deeper at who God's promises ultimately point to. In the New Testament, the apostles repeatedly teach that Jesus Christ is the fulfillment of the law and the prophets, and that those who belong to Christ, whether they be Jew or Gentile, are counted as Abraham's seed. The apostle Paul writes in Galatians 3:29, if ye be Christ, then ye are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. That's a massive statement, isn't it? We are heirs according to the promise. What promise? That if we bless them, the true seed of Abraham, we will be blessed. Paul goes further in Romans 9, verses 6 through 8, explaining that not all who are descended from Israel are Israel, but that the promise is fulfilled through faith, not lineage. We got so caught up in lineage, but we don't know who the original Jews are because after the Second Temple was destroyed, all the genealogy charts were destroyed. I firmly believe that God intended for that to happen. He's trying to break off of us this perception that these people in the modern state of Israel have something over you and I. He's trying to tell us something. And we've been so programmed for so long that we immediately think, no, they can't be right. That can't be right. In Ephesians 2, we're told that Christ has broken down the wall between the Jew and the Gentile, creating one new body in him. So, from a Christian biblical perspective, the promise to bless Israel is ultimately fulfilled in blessing the people of God who are in Christ, the church, who are grafted into the promises given to Abraham. We don't replace Bible believing, blood bought Jewish people. We're grafted in. We are one family. But I used to defend that statement. Oh, we have to bless Israel. We have to. We have to. No, we don't. God does not want us sending money or our children to die in wars for the satanic temple and the occult. He does not want that for you, and he does not want that for me or my children. He wants us to pray for all unsaved people. And that includes the Talmudic, Torah, and every other false religion believing people. This does not mean that we hate them, that we're trying to replace them, or that we're contemptuous. It means fulfillment. Jesus himself said, I am not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. The blessings flow through Christ, and all who are found in him share in the promise, and all who deny him share in the same fate, whether they be Jew or Muslim or Hindu or American or anything else. There's only one way to heaven. And Christians, you had better get it in your heart that the longer we allow our government and our churches to push this false narrative that they are the chosen, they are the satanic temple. They are worshiping false gods. Without Jesus, they can't get to God Almighty. And their idea of Hashem is some ridiculous, angry God sitting on a plateau. They can't even understand the concept that God took the world's sins on his shoulders for reconciliation to us because he loved us that much. Now, you can get upset with me. I understand the pill is hard to swallow. If anybody does, it's me. But I'm going to keep pushing at you because I believe that if the Holy Spirit could wake me up, he can wake anybody up. I am not going to continue blessing a country that is actively attempting to remove my freedom of speech, my Second Amendment right, my Fourth Amendment right, that is actively engaging in looking at social media posts of immigrants that are trying to come to America and checking to see if they're anti-Semitic. I don't really care. I mean, how about we check and make sure these people are going to fit into our country, that they have, the ability to get a good job and pay their way. That's what I want to see, right? I don't care if they wrote they didn't like Jewish people. Like, this is America. It's not Israel, right? Right? Okay. So welcome back. Welcome back to the one place where I tell you guys all the time, it flat does not matter to me. It does not matter to me what the topic is. We're going to talk about it. We're going to overturn it. And yes, at times, Samantha's literally going to come back and say, okay, I learned some new information and it's either worse or better or something. But the point of me having this channel is for me to learn. I am learning. I have simply invited you to come with me. I don't do this to get rich. Real talk. Half the time, YouTube won't monetize a video because I'm offending some specific, protected group. I do this because I have a love for humanity and a love for lost people. I really do believe in my heart that many people that go to church have yet to come to their salvation yet. So I hope when I speak Bible verses and you see me really digging in, and as I learn more about the Bible, seeing me adjust that belief system, that it gives you faith, right? Because Samantha starts her rabbit holes in her Bible, and she's always going to end them in her Bible because in the end, Jesus is all that matters. This is Black Cube. This is we'll find the missing piece, the Black Cube, which is really concerning. If you watched my Jared Kushner, the Messiah of the Black Cube video the other day, if you watched that, Just seeing a company called Black Cube just makes you like, woo, right? This is Saturn worship. It's in your face. It is the occult. It's Luciferian satanic worship. These are veterans of Israelis' elite intelligence units. This is Mossad. Operatives conduct innovative, complex operations online and offline. Their human intelligence, HUMINT, methodology is supported by top notch open source. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. Open source, that's Larry Ellison. So, Larry Ellison is a gay Jew who's a billionaire who is actively trying and already has received billions of dollars in federal contracts for his open source AI. I think of it like a platform to run AI. So Peter Thiel, I'm sorry, you guys, my sinuses are messing up because it was hot yesterday and it's cold today, and I'm going from heater to air conditioning. My body doesn't know what's going on. So this is how it works. Like Peter Thiel, the guy who created J.D. Vance and placed him as vice president of the United States, Peter Thiel is another gay billionaire, supposed Christian, who is pushing something called Palantir. I have plenty of videos on this. Also on my Patreon, I have a study guide on Palantir and all of its offshoots and how that relates to the Lord of the Rings. I know it just sounds insane, but it's real and it's there. The thing about Palantir is it will be a surveillance state. It will be a gray state. It will totally take over any freedom that you have. So when you read this on the screen, and it says our human intelligence methodology is supported by top-notch open source capabilities and cutting-edge technology to secure hard evidence otherwise impossible to obtain. In other words, we're going to break all the rules. We're going to go where we're not supposed to. We're going to go through firewalls. We're going to use this AI and this open source to get into all of your records that should not be available to us. America, President Trump has put us in the worst national security position we have probably ever been in this country. Get mad at me, but that's the logistical truth of it. He has allowed tech billionaires into Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Sam Alderman, Larry Ellison. He's allowed them into the IRS, into Medicaid, into Medicare, into all of your mental health records, all of your doctor visits. I mean, every x-ray you've ever had, every blood work you've ever done, in your DMV records, they have them. So they're going to use a tactical approach, a global reach. We're not limited by knowledge, expertise, language, connections, or geography. They're telling you we have total control of the system. We're world leaders at exposing corruption, fraud, bribery, asset dissipation, and other white collar crimes, even when there's no existing paper trail. So, out of curiosity, why isn't America, if these people are so good, if this Black Cube Israeli company is so amazing, why has the United States federal government not applied this to Epstein? Because this is the framework that Epstein worked in. Starting to make sense? The reason I'm showing you this is because there has been evidence coming out that MrBeast has employed this company for some secretive reason. I mean, none of us really know why. But everybody remember who Harvey Weinstein was? He hired Israeli's firm Black Cube for days like this. Okay. Disgraced producer on trial for graping, questioned about his use of private investigators to track and silence journalists and accusers. He used the firm Black Cube to do that. You go back here, MrBeast has reportedly hired the same lawyer as Harvey Weinstein. Fans are starting to worry that MrBeast is truly guilty. Guilty of what, you might ask? I'm so glad you asked that. Let's get into it. First off, does everybody remember that MrBeast had a partner and his partner came out as trans, left his wife? Y'all remember all that? Left his wife. This is him. Look behind them. Is this Jeffrey Epstein's island? Oh, yeah, it is. And this is MrBeast's bestie. This is his bestie. If you saw pictures of this dude before the transition, you knew he was like flaming, right? Well, the other day he took a picture of his kid, his little boy, wearing a pair of heels and wrote, Tucker chose to slay this morning. A little boy. Chris Tyson. What was his name? That's what he put. So who MrBeast, who is he really?
A huge YouTube pedophile network just got exposed. And suddenly, MrBeast's meteoric rise doesn't look so innocent. Illuminati bloodline families, Mossad fingerprints, and a global push to hijack the minds of kids. This rabbit hole goes deep. The real question is, who's behind the programming? A massive YouTube pedophile ring has just been exposed, hidden in plain sight, inside the world of so-called children's creators. These channels weren't just pumping out brainwashing content designed to hook young minds. They were secretly contacting minors behind the scenes with disturbing, inappropriate messages. And in far too many cases, those messages turned into arranged meetings. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a glitch. This was a coordinated network targeting children on the world's biggest platform.
Police spent hours at the home of 39-year-old Michael Booth, known online as Mr. Crafty Pants, a YouTuber who shares DIY projects and family-friendly crafts. But investigators say behind the social media smiles, Mr. Crafty Pants was sharing something far more sinister. According to court documents, a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children led police to Booth's Kick account, where they say he distributed explicit images of minors.
I think it definitely hits a note that it is happening here in the neighborhood.
Outside his home, a Halloween sign reads, quote, "I smell children."
Which brings us to the world's biggest children's creator, MrBeast, whose team targets the underage demographic with an unerring eye. Here is MrBeast himself, Jimmy Donaldson, in a resurfaced podcast clip where he speaks about a then 14-year-old Bad Barbie in terms that feel deeply questionable. The tone, the wording, the intent, none of it sits right.
And he did say that he enjoys the Catch Me Outside girl and thinks she's funny. So let's just
so that just shows what.
Let's be real. You want to put your dick in it?
I mean, it's
probably not.
Enjoying enjoying someone and putting your dick in someone is a whole different story. Yeah.
I mean, she probably has AIDS. She's like 14 years old. She probably has AIDS already.
MrBeast and his friends then continued obsessing over the 14-year-old, making increasingly disturbing comments that sound like attempts to justify contact with minors.
Oh, wow. The rest of this will be on my X account. I mean, I listened to some of it, but I didn't listen that far. So Jimmy Donaldson made a name for himself by giving away millions of dollars. He built houses. He built wells in Africa. He built hospitals. Sam, can't you ever just say anything nice about anybody? But with that level of reach, money, and influence, questions matter, friends and family. Today, we're not doing a hit piece or hero worship. We're walking through facts, projects, money flows, audience impact, and documented controversies. So, MrBeast had a few different main YouTube channels. He had MrBeast, Beast Reacts, MrBeast Gaming, and Beast Philanthropy. Combined subscribers was over 300 million on any given day. His business ventures were Feastables, which were chocolate and snacks, MrBeast Burger, which was like this virtual restaurant model, merchandise and brand deals, sponsored content, and YouTube ad revenue. Altogether, MrBeast was bringing home upwards of $700 million a year. Let me repeat that for people who didn't catch it. $700 million a year. Now, Beast Philanthropy was a registered nonprofit. Go figure, right? I mean, once you get above $1 million, you open up a nonprofit to then hide your money from taxes. They had food banks, disaster relief, eye surgery, water well projects, housing projects. Now, how many children watch MrBeast? 30 to 45% of MrBeast's audience is under 18, and a significant portion of that is under 13. Children are highly suggestible. They cannot contextualize branding, power, or even mind control. They are watching a gamified wealth punishment reward cycle that is hard and horrible for children to try to compartmentalize in their developing brains. This makes MrBeast less like a creator and more like a privately owned children's television network with global reach. Now, this is what you have to understand about these people. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets pushed in the algorithm above 2 million subscribers on any social media platform unless you have contacts with someone high up. I don't watch anyone any longer that has more than 2 million subscribers. I'm being very serious with you. Now, they've been on YouTube like 18 years and they have slowly climbed that high. That's one thing. But if they've been on YouTube 3 or 4 years and they have 10 million people, I'm not watching them. If they've been on YouTube for 5 years and they've got 3.8 million, I'm not watching them because they're called controlled opposition. I've been doing this for 4 years and I just pushed through the algorithm to hit almost 115,000. And they unsubscribe people from my channel every single day. So I know the game. I know the game. Did you know MrBeast's mom was a Lieutenant Colonel Sue Donaldson, served in the Army with distinction for 26 years as commander of the 9th Military Police Detachment and warden of an Army prison in Germany? That's no joke. No joke at all. Donaldson claims not to have any vivid memories of his childhood before the age of 11. He chalks this up to his entrepreneurial streak. I'm very forward thinking. F the past. It's already happened. I mean, I'm just saying. His mom was stationed at Fort Leavenworth. She worked 12-hour days when she was on active duty, and much of the child care was outsourced at a revolving cast of au pairs, in other words, nannies. I'm trying to catch up and see. So there was no real family around him, and his mother was always running the prison at Leavenworth. I'm just saying, MK Ultra. I mean, anybody. Now, that's important. All of this is important. You have to understand what makes these people. I have heard his mother was connected somehow to the CIA and MK Ultra. So that's why I'm bringing this up. MrBeast wants your kids to blank for the American empire. MrBeast, Kelly Clarkson, and Guy Ferreira were approved for Pentagon support last year. A military recruitment hits record low. The Pentagon tried and failed to win over Gen Z with YouTube's biggest stars. That was December of 2024. So I'm just saying, it does help
how
to look.
Funny it is that MrBeast inked a deal with the Rockefellers, with the Rockefeller Foundation, MrBeast. Okay. So it's run since 2017 by Rajiv Shah, who for 5 years under the Obama administration was the head of USAID. So basically I just saw this video
Rod Shaw, President of Rockefeller Foundation. I'm here today with Jimmy Donaldson, better known as MrBeast. How's it going? And we are together, the Rockefeller Foundation and MrBeast, launching a great new partnership together. Yes, we're going to try to inspire the youth all around the world, change lots of lives. Lots of big projects coming up. We'll tell you more about it in the future, but I'm honored to be working with the Rockefeller Foundation and Let's Change the World. And we're excited to work with Jimmy and his awesome team. They are already helping kids in Africa and around the planet. We're going to take that.
So I made this video because this is funny. I mean, the Rockefeller Foundation, as we've covered, has been working with the CIA since the late 1940s. When we did the CIA University 1951, let's see, I don't know, Google will find it that fast. Anyway, we've been over these documents a million times, but it's literally CIA documents about how they worked with the Rockefeller Foundation to launder monetary support for 501c3 universities to sponsor research that could be used in psychological warfare and in CIA analyst memos for the CIA. That goes back to the 1950s. And today, if you go to the Atlantic Council roll of donors, you'll see this very institution, the Rockefeller Foundation, is one of the biggest annual sponsors year after year after year. They are in the highest category of sponsorship for one of the most malevolent institutions probably the most malevolent institution in the entire censorship industrial complex, with 7 CIA directors on their board and annual funding from the Department of War, Department of State, as well as the UK government, UAE, Chevron. So when I see the main sponsor of the network I've been up against for 10 years partner with MrBeast, the biggest YouTuber in history by far, I didn't say the best. All right.
No, he's nice. Terrible.
I'm more of a PewDiePie guy. But at 464 million subscribers, and I've watched for 10 years as this network of CIA, State Department, USAID, soft power, covert political influence constantly talk about how they need more influencers on board, how they need to reach the youth, how they need to mobilize and control the flow of information on social media so that everyone is like MrBeast mind slopped instead of having intelligent criticism from outside voices who might criticize the system. You can't help but laugh.
That guy, that was bang. That was great. I mean, he did a great job with that video. So MrBeast does not simply give away his own money. All right. So if you're going to type in comments, he's done so much good. He is not giving away $1. Let me show you how this works. The system works like this. High engagement content, $1 versus $1 million clone. Massive ad revenue. Sponsorships all over his channel. He's got probably 10 sponsors for every video because they know the kids are watching. And 90% of the money we spend on our kids is because the kids suggested they wanted something. Nobody goes out and buys their kid Growing Under a Poison Sky book, even though you should, because even if you got a 12-year-old, they should read this book. I wrote it. It's an excellent book. You don't buy them that. You buy them whatever was on MrBeast. So the sponsors trip over themselves, right? So you've got massive ad revenue. Sponsorships. Why is he getting massive ad revenue? Well, because he works with these people that control the system. So they make sure he's getting paid 30 or 40 bucks for every 1,000 views versus us peons out here getting paid $9 per 1,000 view. Next, money is reinvested into bigger spectacles. So he gets that check and he's like, okay, I'm going to take this money and we're going to do something crazy with it. So they get more sponsors, bigger ad revenue. And then when that check comes in, which is twice the return of the first check, he sticks it in his nonprofit. And from there, everybody trusts that what he's doing is amazing and the cycle begins again. Okay? This is not illegal, but it is a feedback loop where charity becomes content, content becomes power, and power becomes unaccountable. Now, Mr. Beast funded the installation of 100+ water wells across African nations through the Beast Philanthropy and partner NGOs, non-governmental organizations, which are also known for child trafficking. So what's confirmed? The wells were installed. The NGOs and contractors were involved. And all the videos he made about it, he made money off of. They were monetized. Now, some local activists and aid workers questioned long-term maintenance of these wells. Who's going to take care of them? How are we going to get replacement parts? They also asked and requested that locals be trained on how to operate and maintain the wells. Their biggest concern were these wells that he put in were known that the length that they would last were 6 to 12 months. That's it. Let me repeat that. These wells were known that the length and sustainability of them would be between 6 and 12 months. They were concerned about that. In parts of Africa, wells commonly fail between 1 to 3 years because without ongoing funding. They have to drill deeper. They have to replace parts. There's no money for that. So he goes in, he drops 100 wells in the most poverty-stricken areas, and he leaves. There is not one African well that Mr. Beast put in that is still running today. Not one. Let that sink in. What a flippin' waste of money. So there was also no public audit that showed who maintained them and what happened after the YouTube attention faded. This is a transparency issue, not an accusation of malicious intent. It just means, why haven't you gone back to Africa to show people what their money bought them, right? So there are other controversies and criticisms. Mr. Beast had a burger lawsuit. Mr. Beast sued the Ghost Kitchen partner and claimed that the quality control harmed his brand when he did his online burgers, right? People have accused him of psychological stress in his videos. The people that have been on his shows have reported that the conditions were harsh, that they had long filming hours, that they were under extreme emotional pressure. A lot of ethical concerns there. What's most concerning for me, though, is the centralization of the influence that this one nobody, but is somebody to somebody through Luciferian bloodlines, has the ear of so many young children. He is showing kids how to shape charitable narratives, but not follow through with long-term care. He decides where the help goes by deciding what's going to bring him in the most views and the most money. He receives the praise, the trust, and the loyalty from these children, even if what he's doing is failing, but he won't show it. That's power traditionally held by governments or NGOs, not YouTubers. And it does kind of bother me, friends.
Now that Mr. Beast has officially shown his true colors, we need to keep our children and everybody away from his propaganda. If you don't already know, Mr. Beast is the #1 YouTuber with 450 million followers. And lately, since his Rockefeller partnership, he's been pushing lab-grown meat with Bill Gates' Upside Foods and brain chips with Elon's Neuralink. And it always starts with pulling on our heartstrings to gradually introduce the real evil that's behind the product.
Yes.
It will save the chickens. It will make the paraplegic walk again. The world must understand that the advertised version of certain products are not the end game of these products. The end game is the total control of our body and our perceptions, so don't be fooled by this synthetic smile. And by the way, I received thousands of messages over the years saying that they always felt like something was off with this dude. That's not a coincidence. It means that you're dialed in, and it's okay to trust our instincts. We need to believe in our power to sense danger, and this puppet's propaganda is dangerous.
However, the guy talking, his propaganda is a wee bit dangerous too. This is where, when you get filled with the Holy Spirit, you start to notice things. Notice his necklace. You see that tree? That's the Talmudic tree of life.
Watch dialed this. In, and it's.
You see this? This is also Talmud teaching, the chakra. So, I mean, doesn't mean what he's saying isn't true. Just saying be careful where you get your information. Let's not generalize. Black Cube is ex-Mossad. As that, this is what I showed you. This is who MrBeast hired in 2014. Okay. Guys, the U.S. military is helping Trump to build massive networks of concentration camps, Navy contract reveals. A repurposed $55 billion Navy contract to convert warehouses into makeshift jails and plan sprawling tent cities in remote areas. You better get ready, friends and family. Oh, by the way, Nicki Minaj is now admitting her gold card she got was fake.
So apparently, Nicki Minaj is claiming that the old her is back. She's going back to making music, and, you know, she wants her fans to accept her apology. Because after she found out that Trump's gold card is not an actual pass to a citizenship here in the United States of America, it was just a complimentary souvenir. So basically, Trump and his administration played her. They were like, thank you, but you're not worthy of being a USA American citizen. What do y'all think about this?
And let me tell you, everybody's asking me, what do you think about Nicki Minaj pointing out the satanic people with the Chucky post? Even Satan knows he's evil. Folks, there's nothing Christian about Nicki Minaj. Just because she's admitting what you and I already know doesn't make her one of us. We got to stop letting everybody into the club, friends. It's okay to be exclusive and say, no, you don't get to come into the club.
The mutilation, the word is mutilation. They mutilate and I stopped the mutilation of children. The mutilation, the word is mutilation. They mutilate, the mutilation of children. I stopped it. Who would think if you said that 15 years ago, they'd say, what the hell is he talking? Is he crazy?
I stopped it. So Trump's telling us here that he stopped the mutilation of children, transgender surgeries. That's funny. They're still performing those surgeries, just like they're still funding Planned Parenthood, fully funding it, the same way they were under Biden. I have been gently trying to wake people up. I've been showing you guys proof that the transgender movement comes from the Jewish freethinkers, the liberal Jewish freethinkers, the same ones that did it in Germany back in 1918. The first transgender surgery center was most definitely in Germany back in like the 1916. The LGBTQ, the gay rights movement, all of that is being pushed on to Christian America and the Christian West by Jews in the East. Again, the main reason is because they are not the true Jews. We are. And they hate us. They hate us because God gave us their birthright. They know it, and most of us are waking up to it now too. Now, I don't hate Trump, but I want to show you this.
I liked his behavior toward me. I thought he got me. He understood.
Now, what he's talking about there is that the House Oversight Committee has brought on the Clintons for a closed-door deposition after missing the first two that they were supposed to be at. They did agree to come, but it's going to be closed door. You're not going to see it. On a deeper level, there's lots of clips out there like this where he's dismissing the Epstein files and he's calling it a hoax. Now, we're supposed to hate him. You're supposed to hate him. You're supposed to be angry. You're supposed to demand better. You're supposed to hate him. You're supposed to hate the Republicans. You're supposed to let go of the two-party ideology. Post yesterday talking about how this whole Epstein thing is one big psyop, and the slow release of this is to manipulate the people into asking for AI government, because at least AI government isn't going to diddle kids. Remove the current government and to put in a one world order artificial intelligence government. And I can see that. I can. On the other side of this, you have the Great Awakening, because there is worship of Trump out there. Yeah. There just is. It's in my comments. I trust Trump. I believe in Trump. I worship, there's a worship. Trump has shown you time and time again that he, and at the direction of our country, they support a group of people who do not believe in Jesus Christ, vehemently do not believe in Jesus Christ. Not only do not believe in Jesus Christ, but they think you're stupid for doing so. We keep sending them money. We keep kissing the wall. We keep inviting them back to our country. We keep allowing them to buy legislation. We keep allowing them to infiltrate our influencers and our media. None of that has stopped. If anything, it's gotten worse. We're supposed to hate him. Because what happens when you take everything that you once worshipped and it's just completely obliterated?
There is one true divine God that has created everything that is visible and invisible. And this God, for me, is no one but Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Stop worshiping politicians and celebrities and start worshiping Jesus. That is the only way that we're going to win this as a collective. That's it.
That's it. We got to quit letting everybody into our club. Get on, get in, whatever you want to do. But if you can't get into the same program as the rest of us, get out of the boat. Get out of the boat. Because this is what they think of you. What does it say? I don't understand. It says you are called human. And the non-Jews are not called human. That is what is written. Not called human. We don't call them human.
Okay, אז מה קוראים להם?
So what do we call them? Human is the image of God. Human is something that is different from an animal.
Okay.
If a person acts like an animal, so is like an animal, each person needs to control himself.
Okay.
Jews control themselves.
Okay.
If the evil inclination tells them to do something, and they do it, so then he is a person.
Okay,
because he has intellect. So someone who is not Jewish,
אבל יש מישהו שהוא לא יהודי שעושה מה שצריך.
who does
בן אדם או
what
לא
is
בן
good,
אדם?
is he a person or an animal?
נורמליים, בדרך כלל הם עושים, הם יכולים להרוג אנשים שלא רואים אותם. יהודי לא יהרוג,
A Jew will never kill a Jew,
אפילו שלא רואים אותם.
even if he doesn't see him.
גוי.
If a non-Jew,
אבל יש יהודים שהורגים.
but there are Jews who kill Jews.
יהודים. בגלל
There is one thing.
רבי
But
פופר.
a Jew who acts like a Jew, of course they're Jews.
אוקיי, אבל רגע, מה שאני לא מבין זה כל הגויים הם...
All the non-Jews, and you hear him, goyim, goyim, that's what I told you earlier. That is the N-word.
איך קוראים? בהמות?
He said, all the non-Jews, what did you call them? He said, beast. He calls non-Jews beast. And what was this video about? Who are we talking about? Mr. Who? Beast. Huh. Okay.
Is genuinely one of the most evil people alive today. I mean that. So MrBeast is getting a bunch of hate.
Clean Water aims to help 200 million people, which is amazing, but far off what is required. According to the United Nations, over 2.2 billion people are unable to access clean water.
MrBeast.
Hold on. They can't access clean water, but this little girl has colored braids in her hair? Really? Look at this.
Million people, which is amazing, but far off what is required. According to the United Nations, over 2.2 billion.
Oh my God, they lie to our faces. Look at this kid's hair. We don't have water, but look at her hair.
People are unable to access clean water.
MrBeast is getting attacked for Team Water that is trying to raise $40 million.
Countries in Africa to provide clean drinking water to 500,000 people. Good thing, right? No, he just did it for the click.
Million people all around the world clean water.
MrBeast just got exposed for his Team Water charity scandal. Yes, you heard that right. People are now accusing MrBeast of running a fake charity, claiming that Team Water is nothing more than a scam and a publicity stunt. Critics say that even if he actually donated that much money, it wouldn't really change the lives of poor people in Africa or anywhere else around the world, because it's not a permanent solution. Instead, they argue that MrBeast is just throwing money around without a long-term plan.
I'm going to facilitate the birth of tens of thousands of people who will eventually starve to death. Why don't these people donate their millions into their own communities?
Because of this, he's facing the biggest backlash of his career. Viewers are heavily criticizing him, and if this continues, it could turn into the biggest downfall of 2025, where MrBeast risks losing not just his audience, but also his fame and money. So, is this really a scam by MrBeast, or just a distorted picture? Let's break it all down in this video.
I'll link all this for you, but again, not one of those water wells still works. So it was an outright scam. This is how I feel about the Epstein files too. I think you should listen to this.
I admire that. You cannot fight a spiritual problem with a political solution.
Come on, Jesus.
This is a spiritual issue. If every one of us were to rise up together and go and burn down the Capitol, you would take out the flesh and you would leave the demons. The problem would still persist. The problem would still go on because this is a spiritual issue. Our battle, ladies and gentlemen, is not against flesh and blood. Okay, it is against the powers, the principalities of darkness. It is against the kingdoms of this world. It is against Satan and his armies. It is against demonic entities that literally run this world. It is not just creepos that perform rituals. Our world is ran by literal demonic entities, and you cannot fight them politically. You cannot fight them by rioting. You cannot fight them by burning down the Capitol. You cannot fight them physically. You fight them spiritually. Everything in this world is spiritual. Everything goes back to the Bible. And for those out there who are just waking up, if you start to research this, if you go down all these rabbit holes, they say, right, and it does not lead you to Jesus, then you are down the wrong rabbit holes.
Come on, Jesus.
This is a spiritual world. We are fighting a spiritual battle. We are up against demonic entities. This world is ran and controlled by Satan. Satan is the god of this world. 2 Corinthians 4:4. This world is in the control of the evil one. In the Bible, Satan took Jesus up to a mountaintop. And he said, look at all of the kingdoms of this world. As long as you just bow down and worship me, I will give you all of them. Because Satan controls all of the kingdoms of this world. So
how do you fight a spiritual war in a physical world, friends and family? You enter his gates with thanksgiving and praise. You glorify him in your everyday life. You use your mouth to edify the church. When you see someone in need, you help. You stop allowing whomever it is sitting in the White House to dictate how your life is going to be both financially and physically. Stop depending on the doctors to make you less sad. Stop allowing the bank to force you into debt. That's why I tithe. I don't care. Tell me all the comments about why I should not tithe. And I'm going to tell you, with everything I'm facing, with my husband's health, with everything going on in my life right now, I am debt free. Come on, Jesus. 6 years, not even 5 years. I've been clean and sober. My house is paid off. My vehicles are paid off. No credit card debt. Come on, Jesus. I give him the 10% because it is faith. If I can trust him with my soul, I had better be able to trust him with my money. And what happens when that day comes? And I understand, Christians, we're expecting to be raptured. But see, Samantha is prepared for anything. So when the day comes, be it before the rapture, that we cannot sell or buy if we don't follow their rules, it almost happened during COVID. I ain't going to go hungry because, see, I trust God with my money. Therefore, I'm going to trust him for my food, baby. Build a life centered on the words of God. And if you don't feel this excitement that I do about talking about what's going on in this world, maybe you aren't saved. Just because you've gone to church your whole life and read the Bible 52 times and you can thump it better than anybody does not mean you're actually saved. Because salvation is a heart thing. So I encourage you, I really encourage you, that if you are not filled with that fire in your belly, that you don't get excited when you see the beast system, MrBeast, being placed into position, locked down around you, but you still see your God making a way where there was no way, opening doors that were not open, coming through for you supernatural. I don't serve a dead God. I serve a living God. He is alive. Come on, you guys. I expect the sea to be parted for me. I do. I have full expectation because I am blessed because I believe, yet I have not seen. I am the true Jewish person. Me. I am. I was so excited to find that out. I finally clicked for me. Why would my God be blessing and protecting a group of people that believe in sacrificing little people in a fire like they did in the Old Testament? He kept telling them to quit, and they wouldn't. He's not worried about them. They turn their back. He'll deal with them after the church is gone from this earth. But it won't be many, and the Bible tells you that. So I'm not worried about them anymore at all. I realized that I am Abraham's seed, me. So you know what? I'm going to start blessing people who are Christians. Because God said if I bless him, he'll bless me. And I take his word serious, right? So tithe, give offerings, love on your neighbors, support your brothers and sisters in Christ. Stop worrying about those people who refuse to bend the knee to Jesus. Let him take care of them. Pray for them, but stop worrying about them, friends. We're in a spiritual battle. It is time to put our big girl panties on. And if anything I say gets under your skin, like one sentence, I had somebody say, your paraplegic comment really got under my skin. Good. Stop being offended. Christians have gotten absolutely ridiculous with this. Can't even talk to people. Say one thing wrong. I don't care. Not at all. I did videos for 3 years with no teeth. Do you really think I care about offending people? It's a good thing. You know why? Because the scriptures of the Bible is offensive to those who are not saved. So if you keep getting offended, maybe it's a heart issue. I'm just saying. Oh, fiddle my sticks. You guys, I forgot to get the food out and bring it inside. Steven's he's going to smoke on the pit tonight for me. Come on, Jesus. So this video is not about hating MrBeast. It's about asking, who oversees billionaire level creators and their funding? Who audits viral philanthropy? Should children be the primary audience for wealth spectacles? What happens when charity becomes branding? Huh. MrBeast may be well-intentioned, though I doubt it. He's probably very connected, if you catch my drift. And maybe he's generous. Or maybe there's an ulterior motive to it. But good intentions do not replace accountability. And in a world where influencers rival governments, asking questions isn't hate, it's responsibility. So if your kids or grandkids watch this man, I would stop. His mom was very likely involved in MK Ultra mind control nonsense, and so was he. Because you aren't best friends with a tranny and not know it. So thank you again for spending your afternoon with me. I love you guys. When I find stuff like this, I've just got to share it. Like, I'm like, I have got to share because I'm just like bursting with this new knowledge. And I love it. I love to learn. My dad is 84 and he just started TikTok. He started a TikTok account at 84. I mean, that is amazing. He has a YouTube channel. It's amazing. Like, that's my physical genetics, right? But I am the seed of Abraham. Not a bunch of Talmudic, Torah, Kabbalist, satanic people in the Middle East. It's not them. And we should hold our government accountable for impoverishing us and sending our children to die for their wars. No more. And do not be apologetic for it. You don't hate those people, and neither do I. But if it doesn't stop soon, the unsaved, the hate they feel, Satan will use that. It will fester. As for you and I, we understand prayer and sin and unsaved, right? But there needs to be a stopping of this. They all need to go. If you're coming from the East, you should just be kicked out of America. We have nothing in common with you. So I love you guys so much. Like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for your time.